This is the night where we see Ruben Amorim's real team for Manchester United. If you watched the earlier show this morning, I was talking about the opportunity of what tonight brings against Bodo Glimt. Not just a chance to get 3 points and catapult ourselves into the top automatic promotion places within the Europa League, but still a chance to see Ruben Amorim's real team. And by that I mean the opportunity to play someone different. A Mason Mount instead of a Bruno Fernandes. A Rasmus Højlund instead of a Marcus Rashford. All of these potential possibilities are there tonight for Ruben Amorim with what he's got at his disposal. After watching that performance against Ipswich, I think it's only right that other players do get a chance as well. This is FUTV United TV. Welcome along to the road trip, everybody. Heading into Old Trafford very, very soon. Manchester United against Bodo Glimt. Match day 5 of the Europa League phase. It is dragging on now to all different levels, this competition, as we know. All the way into January. At the end of January is when the league phase finishes. And United, with that Ten Hag slow start that we had, kind of recovered by Ruud van Nistelrooy. A win tonight against Bodo Glimt would definitely just put that all to bed. We are literally basically into the top 8, which is automatic promotion if we win tonight. And then the games coming up after that, I really don't see any trepidation in them fixtures. I feel like Manchester United, I think Victoria Pilsen, Steaua Bucharest, Rangers, yeah, United should be beating them teams comfortably. It now looks like the result against PAOK, that underperforming first half and then literally pulling it out of the bag in the second half was vital. And thank you, Ruud van Nistelrooy. By the way, I didn't say it this morning. Congratulations, Ruud, on getting the job at Leicester. A big moment for him and obviously well done and well deserved as well. But thank you for what you did for Manchester United in the meantime. And we're in the position basically because Ruud got that win against PAOK. He steadied the ship for Ruben Amorim and now we're looking for Ruben's first win for Manchester United. Mason Mount today. Let's talk about Mason Mount. Mason Mount has to play, doesn't he? Let's be honest, like, we're always going to be worried about Mason Mount and his injuries. We're always going to be worried about him just breaking down at some point and we don't see him for another 2 months on end and then another month in between. But if he is going to do this rotation system, then maybe we've got a chance with Mason Mount now. Maybe we can see him come in and out of games, as in, like, play one game, then not play the next one, then play the next one, until we know that he is okay at that level of 1 game a week, maybe. Then maybe advance him to maybe coming on in another game in a week and utilise him that way. What we've seen with Mason Mount is, and do you know what? There is a shout for this right now in terms of Manchester United just finding the best team and going with it. And I understand that. When the players are playing well, you want them to play the next game. But if you've got a big squad like we've got, and you've got Mason Mount, Bruno Fernandes interchanging position with each other, just to get Mason Mount back to full fitness and we can figure out exactly where his levels are, then, do you know what? Let's just do it. Let's do it now. Because I feel like tonight's a perfect game. We get the win tonight. We're pretty much there. We're qualifying for the knockout phases. And then we'll look at the Europa League later on into the season, like into early March. And I think that's when we concentrate on that. So get a win tonight with this team, which I think is going to be Ruben's strongest team so far. I said it earlier on, Kobbie Mainoo, Manuel Ugarte, Lisandro Martinez, Rasmus Højlund, Mason Mount coming into the side. All of them changes are definitely stronger than what we had starting the game, I feel, against Ipswich. No disrespect to the likes of Casemiro, Marcus Rashford, Eriksen, players like that, but they didn't really have great games. I think the big question mark is, do we play Bruno Fernandes? Does Bruno, because he's the captain, have to play games? We're going to find out what Ruben Amorim is really like on that side of things, because I know as soon as I mention the likes of Rashford, Eriksen, Casemiro, everybody will jump into the comments section, and please do, I don't mind, and say, why are you not talking about Bruno? Bruno should be out of this side as well. Well, yeah, Bruno is part of that as well, and Bruno does need to be out of the side as well. He does need to take responsibility for his own performances, and Ruben Amorim needs to take that away from him and explain to him. I think this is why, no, it's not necessarily why Bruno was in the press conference with Ruben yesterday as an example of this, but he is the captain. He does need to take responsibility for his performances. And do you know what? Just because you're the captain, it doesn't mean that you stay in the side. You don't. Basically, you're just another one of the squad players. And he said it himself. You cannot get rid of 15 or 20 players. The manager has to go. And when the manager goes, it's quite clear that something's wrong. Everybody has to take responsibility for their own performances. And he knows himself he probably hasn't been playing the best. And he probably knows that most of this squad haven't been playing the best. So, really, as a captain, what you're expecting from Bruno Fernandes when it comes to Ruben Amorim, you're expecting him to be completely honest with him. Otherwise, what he said just falls on deaf ears again. and it's just another player playing for himself, hoping that he makes it okay and he can stay around for the next manager. Well, no. If the manager drops you, you just have to work harder and get back in the side. You don't bitch, you don't moan, you don't go down the road of, it's not fair, I have put all this effort in, I've been player of the season, look at my stats, my goals, my assists and all of this. So anybody coming in at me saying that I really don't have a go at Bruno and I always isolate everyone else apart from him, I do look at Bruno as a problem as well as a positive for Manchester United. He is, and he has been, a player that I feel definitely isn't at the forefront of major issues at this football club. I'll always stand by that. A lot of fans are different on that, but that's what fan debate is all about, and that's what we bring here as well on Forever United TV. So really, I understand people's argument. I just look at it and go, priority-wise, he's not really an issue right now. So if he plays tonight, then I fully expect Mason Mount to be playing alongside him. I expect Rasmus Højlund to be in front of the two of them. And people have said that's our worst forward line in years. Well, you know what? We don't know because we've never played it before. So on paper, you could say, oh, God, can you believe what we're playing here? But if it works, what are we going to say then? And unless you try it, you just don't know. Mason Mount had a great scoring record at Chelsea before he came to United. Bruno Fernandes has a fantastic scoring record as well. And like Ruben Amorim said, Bruno needs to score more goals. He needs to create more. And now that we have had that first game against Ipswich and Ruben Amorim has come out with everything that he said after that game, are we going to see a reaction from these players? There is a video doing the rounds of Mason Mount actually pointing out things as Ruben Amorim's pointing out things on the pitch as if to where players should actually be. It's quite a funny video actually because Mason Mount spots it before the manager does and everyone's into thinking, oh, he understands it, he's definitely going to make it work here for Ruben, he understands what he wants. Look, Ruben Amorim has already bigged up Mason Mount in comments as well. He said, look at this guy, you can only love this guy. And yeah, hopefully this all in talking looks good and sounds good and we're all hoping that it works, but the reality is a completely different thing. Let's see Mason Mount play and let's see if he can get it better than what other players have so far. Step by step, we will wean out the players that really can't work in this system. Like I said last night, I think he's already cottoned on to Marcus Rashford. Bruno Fernandes has had the warning signs. Diogo Dalot, these are regular players in Manchester United's side that have already been picked out by Ruben Amorim as possible problems. Not big problems, but need to be better. Cannot continue playing the way that they are if this system is to work that he wants to put in place. So that's what I look at. Garnacho, Dalot, Rashford, Bruno Fernandes, these players all called out already. And you know that these players are all guaranteed starters in a Manchester United 11 before Ruben Amorim came around. So this is where I feel like the change is coming. And tonight, I think we are going to see changes. I really do. I don't think Dalot starts tonight. I wouldn't be surprised if Bruno didn't start. But then again, I'm not going to be surprised if he does start. You know what I mean by that. But it's a great opportunity tonight. And I feel like everything that's actually happening right now, the possibility to going into the top 8 and solidifying Europa League so we can now concentrate on the league. And then, obviously, because we've only got one game next month in Europe, and I think the other 2 are in January and out of the 3 games left after today. So get this win in the bag. Let's just put Europe to bed. Let's just make sure that everything is all right there, and then we can start fully concentrating on what's coming up in the league because there's some big games. But really looking forward tonight. I'm going to go with a 2-1 win to Manchester United. I feel like they will cause us a problem, but I think we've got too much for them at Old Trafford, and Ruben Amorim gets his first win. Goal scorers tonight, I think Rasmus gets one, and I think Kobbie Mainoo gets one tonight. That's a weird one, isn't it? Yes. Not a combination you would have thought I would have been saying. But that is it. Thank you, everybody, for the road trip. I'll see you outside Old Trafford. Enjoy the game. And do tune in for the reaction afterwards as well. Like, share, and subscribe to Forever United TV, everybody. I'll see you after United get this win.